All right, very common question here. How do I stop my dog from marking?
Um, well, it's a difficult one. Um, I mean, it can be done. Obviously, we do it with our dogs because they have public access and they couldn't possibly mark in Home Depot or in a grocery store. The first thing to do is before you walk your dog, have it pee. So for bitches, we're talking about voiding the bladder here. So put elimination on cue. And you do that before you walk. You don't walk your dog or have him off leash in the house with a full bladder. So at home, obviously, if he's marking the house, then every hour on the hour, I take him outside to mark his urination post in his dog toilet. And it's a place that drains easily, so it doesn't destroy the grass. All urinations and 95% of urine from this dog will happen on this post into this drain. Empty your dog out every hour on the hour if he's going to have free run in the house. Although for a dog that's marking, I wouldn't. If you're going for a walk, empty your dog out first. And then the reward for emptying out is a walk. And if you make that, if we put the dog on a differential reinforcement, which I do, when they pee in the toilet on cue, I give them 3 pieces of kibble. They get an extra piece of kibble for each extra second of peeing. And so I have a jar of kibble, and I've seen some dogs which have ended up getting 33 pieces of kibble for peeing. Male dogs, because they
Yeah.
started to empty their bladder now. So a dog that's marking with an empty bladder, now we're just talking drips instead of squirts and floods.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first tip. The second tip is don't give your dog the opportunity. If he's going to live in the crate, and then you're going to let him out for as much as you like. It could be an hour at a time, 5 minutes at a time, but you're going to watch him like a hawk. And if he starts sniffing remotely, if he starts that orienting thing where they sniff and they turn and they sniff and what have you, get ready. The instant he lifts his toes off the ground, and this is where I would use volume, but the word would be instructive. One word: toilet, 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 or outside, outside, outside. So the word outside communicates not indoors, but outdoors. The word toilet is more specific. It means not anywhere else, but in your toilet area, which is outdoors. Okay. And so when I take the dog out, I first say, do you want to go to your toilet? Good dog. Just go to your toilet. And when he gets there, I'd say, go pee, go pee. Good dog. So he learns 2 words, toilet and go pee. So the single word, it has to come out instantly. And Omaha, he developed a problem at my very first protege in the world that I trained up. And he hiked in her basement. She came because, I'd go around there when we were writing the behavior booklets together. And of course, he has free run of the house, as did all the dogs, because
Yeah.
well trained, right? And then Gwen came upstairs and said, I think Omaha's peed in the basement. No. So the next time we went round there, I said, I'm going to leave home in the car. I'm going to go down, hide in the basement. I want you to go and get Omaha from the car, bring him in on leash, let him off leash, and I'm going to hide and watch. And he sniffed everywhere. She was watching him upstairs, and sure enough, he comes in the basement. And I know where he's going to pee because dogs are creatures of habit. And I'm hiding in the dark, barely breathing. He hasn't scented me yet. And we actually put a scent barrier in front of high-powered perfume. So I'm hiding way back, and he sniffs, and then he reorients, and he reorients again, and his toe comes up, and I go, outside, outside, like this. So way back then, I did use my voice, and he knew the word outside because after the visit before, we taught him outside and inside. So it's simple. You take a bunch of food, and you say, outside, you toss it outside. Outside. inside. And so the dog learns, oh, when they say inside, you run back through the door this way to get the food. When they say outside, you run that way. So he knew the meaning of the word outside. I shouted it once, and that was it. I hid in the basement 3 more times. Nope. Instead of, because the door was always open to outside, he'd come down, he'd sniff, and he'd go outside and pee. And I say, good boy, treat, treat, treat. Now, back then, it was only treat, treat, treat. If I had the same problem now, every time that dog lifts his leg on his urination post in the toilet or on a walk with an empty bladder, say on a fire hydrant, I don't allow trees because it eventually kills them off. But fire hydrants, it's allowed. A fence post, it's allowed. I say good dog treat, but if he does it at home, good dog treat, 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 treat. I want to make a statement. And then we're talking about an empty bladder. There's only so much urine to go around. The beautiful thing about house training is there's only so much urine to go around. And if you reward the dog for depositing its urine in the right place, then he'd be more likely to do that tomorrow. So if we graphed out, if we had a little collection cup round the bottom of the urination post, and if we measured the urine every day, and every day he peed, we gave him 10 treats in a row. What you would find is the volume of urine would increase dramatically over the next few days till it asymptotes, which is close to 99% of total urine output in a day. There's no urine left over to pee on your bed or on your shoe. You know, it's such a lovely, to me, that is the purity and effectiveness of reward training. There's no time for misbehavior. There's no place for misbehavior. There's no urine left for misbehavior.